Assalamu alaikum. Imagine waking up one morning, checking your text messages, and noticing a chunk of your money has mysteriously vanished. Today, I'm diving deep into the story of how Google ended up taking my money out of the blue and why it could happen to you too. Now, before I dive deep into the video, I just want to congratulate my fellow Muslims on our special occasion, Ramadan Kareem. If you are new here, this is Omar Muhammad, a newborn entrepreneur and currently occupied with a 9 to 6 job. Welcome to the channel where I take you with me on the front seat of how I will build my first online business ever from scratch. I'm here to document every victory, setback, and lesson learned along the way. I made $0 online, and I'll use the AAA business model. Why subscribe? Because if I can't make the leap from employee to entrepreneur, so you can. I'll share real, raw insights from my journey. No fluff is here, just the truth of what it takes to build a business online. So hit that subscribe button, join our community of dreamers and doers, and let us make our business dreams a reality together. Before we jump into our adventure, let me set the stage for what I will discuss in this video. What is outreach and my experience with email campaigns? Here comes the Google part. The outreach disaster. What is my current state in learning Python? Courses I chose. Things I liked and disliked about them. What would I do if I had a time machine? If any of these things ring the bell for you, you may need to stick around. What is outreach? Business outreach is a targeted communication strategy designed to connect with potential clients. It is a way for us, particularly in the agency world, to connect with other businesses to showcase how our services might provide solutions to their problems. One common method within this strategy is email outreach. Email outreach is a direct marketing strategy that involves sending targeted emails to potential clients with the aim of promoting our services. To do email outreach, you need to set up an email campaign. There are various ways to set up your email campaign. One of them is to use Google Admin Console. Essentially, this is a paid Google service that facilitates the hosting of email accounts, enabling us to reach out to prospective clients. My experience with email campaigns. I set up my campaign through Google Admin Console, which operates on a pay-per-usage basis. For instance, if you have one email account, you will pay $10 per email account, of course depending on the type of subscription you choose. If you have two email accounts, you'll pay $20 monthly and so on. This means that you don't get charged at the beginning of the month, like all subscription based services. Instead, you pay by the end of the month. During my free trial, I connected 9 email accounts with the aim to leverage the campaign fully before transitioning to a paid subscription, hopefully to secure my first clients. This is a common sense, guys. My efforts ended unfortunately in a disaster, guys. I'll tell you more about that later. Now, after canceling my subscription and disconnecting all email accounts around the middle of February, I assumed all was settled, not anticipating any future charges from Google. Google, this guy is about to find out that we got a surprise party for him. And spoiler alert, they didn't forget to bring gifts. The gift was a bill from Google at the 1st of March. They deducted 70 euros, around $77. Of course, I panicked. I'm running on a low budget, guys, and I tried to contact Google directly. Contacting Google is literally a nightmare. I literally surfed the web around how I can contact with them. I managed to contact them on X, formerly Twitter. They told me this charge is for my previous usage of the admin console. Since you canceled your subscription, you will not get charged anymore. I thought to myself, why Google didn't send me an email reminder for my trial subscription status? In this way, I'll know what is going on with my subscription, right? I checked my emails and found that Google already sent me an email on the 27th of Jan, so before February even started. They did their homework, but I didn't. Lessons learned from this experience. Track trial periods carefully. I should always check how much the period of trial is and mark it down in my calendar events as a reminder. Regularly review emails across accounts. I should always check my emails even if I have multiple email accounts, especially the ones I used for paid subscription services, for regular updates and reminders. The outreach disaster. When other entrepreneurs tell us that failure is a must, they are indeed right. The outreach disaster is by far the first failure of me in this journey. Starting something new means looking up to those who have already succeeded and following their advice, hopefully to see success at the beginning. One big question that comes up is, do you need to know how to code before starting reaching out to potential clients? Some of them say no, you don't need coding skills or to have built something with no code tools before. Just close the deal first and then find a developer to do the work for you. However, I strongly disagree, especially from a beginner's point of view. I'll tell you why in a little bit. So, I followed their advice and started to reach out to people via social media manually. To be honest here, my strategy was wrong, so I didn't get replies, but I got two of them. Both of them showed some interest, but without any real projects or past work to show, it was really tough. They asked me, do you have any past results? No. Do you have any demos or side projects as a proof of concepts? Also, no. I told them, although I don't have any experience, I'll use the resources of my professional community and provide you with the best results. On top of that, all my services are free. And still, this didn't ring the bell for them, and I got rejected. Where is the email outreach part then? While trying to connect with people on social media, I also started setting up an email campaign with Google Admin Console. Once I realized that I didn't have the resources to partner up with a developer and didn't have the capital to do a big email campaign, I shut everything down and lost nearly $200. One of our coaches said about email outreach, either you do it right or don't do it at all, because it'll just be a waste of your time and money. Now, let us come to why I disagree with this approach. To address this better, let me ask the question again and answer it accordingly. Do you need to know how to code before you start reaching out to potential clients? Yes, you need. An answer from my own experience, of course. When you're just starting, you might not have the money to pay a developer to do the heavy lifting for you unless you partner up with him and split the earnings by 50%. In this case, you should already have the skills of marketing, sales, etc. For beginners like us, it is common to start with little to no experience in coding or marketing. I am in the same boat here. Lessons learned from this experience. Build something first. If I am doing it on my own, before trying to win people over, I need to have something to show. It doesn't have to be big. but it needs to solve a problem and show off my skills. In our case, a project like an AI persona chatbot would solve a problem. Bring something to your partnership. If I want to work with someone else, I need to have something valuable to offer, like being a good developer or knowing how to sell. What is my current state in learning Python? Remember when I told you that I intend to learn Python and that I have some Udemy courses? You guessed it right. I started consuming the content of these courses directly. I'll tell you about these courses and how my first week has been learning Python. Disclaimer: I'm not affiliated by any means or any chance with either Udemy or any instructor of these courses. I'm telling you about my own experience. The first course is 100 Days of Code by Dr. Angela. I reached to the third section, day 3, particularly the logical operators. Now, first of all, I'll talk about the things I liked about this course. You start to learn coding directly from day 1, without the need to set up any coding environment. This gives you the benefit of discovering what coding looks like and figuring out if coding suits you or not. While this is an advantage, this is a disadvantage at the same time. You don't get to know what a professional development environment looks like at the beginning. But hey, this is not the case throughout the entire course. Once you reach to the intermediate level, the instructor guides you on how you can set up this development environment. When I get there, I'll tell you my thoughts about it. Now, in the beginning, the instructor uses Replit.com as a coding environment. It is good and packed with a lot of features, mainly the AI features. If you want to use this website as your coding environment, you need to turn off auto-completion because it basically tells you what you should code. This is not a good thing to have when you are starting out because you need to know what every single character is doing in your line of code. Let me show you what I mean by that. Let's say write a simple code, print. You see, there are some suggestions here on what function should I choose. This doesn't stop here. Let me complete, just like this, and hell, just wait a little bit, and it just completed by itself. If I hit tab, and then just delete the last double quotation, hit run, voila, it runs the code perfectly, and basically I didn't complete the line of code and it completed on my behalf. This is notoriously bad. Let me show you how you can disable this. So you just need to head over to the settings, scroll down till you find AI completion, turn that off, code intelligence, turn that off. Let us try that again. Let me just delete the code, print. Let me wait a little bit. Nothing completes. I need to complete the code by myself. World. And we are all done. Let me just run. And the code runs perfectly and I wrote it by myself. Now, to be honest with you, I really tried to prevent the website even from writing these characters by itself. And unfortunately, I didn't find anything in the setting to prevent that, but it's not actually a real problem. You just write it down by yourself and it would not be duplicated. So let me just try that, this, and run it again, and we are all good. Now, another awesome thing about this course is that The instructor immerses you with exercises every single day. And it is something great when you are starting out. This is the best thing to have when you learn to code because coding is actually learned by doing. Now, I will talk about the things that I did not like about this course. Diving deep into the exercises felt like something was always missing. I ended up looking for information elsewhere to complete them. It made me wish the course started with the absolute basics and then gradually increased in complexity. This was my main issue, and it is actually what led me to switch to a different course, which I'll share more about soon. Now, another thing is some of the course content seem a little bit outdated, but this actually has not been a major problem for me yet. Let me know in the comments what other aspects of the course you're curious about, and I might cover them in the next video. The second course is the Complete Python Bootcamp from Zero to Hero by Jose. I reached to section 3, Python, Object and Data Structure Basics. Why I chose this course? Even though Angela's course offers a lot of value, I realized I needed a stronger foundation in Python basics before tackling her exercises. Jose's course seems to be the sweet spot for diving deep into the essentials and basics. I'm currently reserving my opinion on this course since I have only been exploring its content for just one day. I plan to share my thoughts on it in an upcoming video. What would I do if I had a time machine? Focus on building first. If I could go back, I'd skip the outreach disaster I made until I had completed my first project. The hands on experience of creating something from scratch is invaluable. Learn to code first. Despite the temptation of low code to no code solutions for quick wins and cash flow, steer clear of them at the start. Why? Because I'm playing the long game here. I talked about this in the last video, guys. The real money comes from custom code solutions. Also, learning how to code before jumping to the low code stuff will make learning the low code stuff much easier. Looking forward to your input. Now we are at the part I love the most. What improvements or changes do you want to see in an upcoming videos? It could be anything, the topics covered, the style of narrative, you name it. I'm all ears and can't wait to hear your suggestions. That's it from me now. Catch you the next one. Assalamu alaikum.